What's going on, everybody? We got the Wade Phillips Lite plan here ready to go. We went through this. This is a little bit of a shorter game plan um than the Jim Schwartz scheme, but really it's nice and neat. Let me just kind of point out some of the main things you got to know about. So we're going to start at the beginning of this favorite sheet. That's what the Lite really is. It's all about that favorite sheet. As you guys may not have heard the other video, I just made sure that I condensed Wade's top four plays into a small package. I think the package is 42 plays. Okay. So we're going to start here with the nickel package. Obviously, this is where you're going to live a lot. Just to let you know, Wade was not big into nickel 2-4, but I think depending on your scheme, you want to use the nickel 2-4. If you have two good inside linebackers that can run and hit and still cover pretty well. He lived out of the dime package really. Anytime he wanted to get into pretty much like a four down look. But again, this was on passing downs, you know what I'm saying, not necessarily rundowns. And then when we came out, when it was a rundown, he lived in this 34 package, his base package, and then he used the single. So if you guys aren't sure what I'm talking about with the single package, make sure to go get into that Wade scheme a little bit. Go get the short video that I did. That's only about, what is it? I forgot how long it was. It's not as long as the original video. But it's a short version, or you can get the full 2.5 hour version. But he uses, really, if a team wants to run the ball, it doesn't matter what personnel they're in. He's going to be in his base defense, but he is going to put an extra corner at safety. But if it's a passing situation, he usually lived in the dime package. Now, the only bad thing about Madden, again, with the dime package, is the alignments are a little bit funky. And just understand what's happening is that dime. Okay, so in the dime, big dime package, what you're doing is you're putting a safety down to play linebacker. Okay, which I know in some simulation leagues that's not allowed. So make sure that your league allows that for that to be the case. This is not through the depth chart. This is actually through work. This is actually a default alignment. So for us back in the day, that was TJ Ward. I think when he went to the Rams, he had Johnson. That was his safety that he used. So anyway, the point is, just understand how that works. But in the Madden world, you're gonna live in probably a lot in a nickel package on first and second down. And the first call, again, is gonna be just a single hole coverage. Okay, cover hole. He just called it hole. We talked about three cheat in a lot of videos already. And then I put in cover one robber in here in this situation. Now, this is not really first and second down. It's going to be more like third down. You would probably use it, but you can also use it as a changeup. And then the main thing here that's a little bit different is 57 or robber. So 57 is the coverage that you guys have seen me talk about where we're going to double team somebody. Or you could just use the robber, pure robber, just the way it is naturally. Safety drops down. Everybody's playing cover one on the outside. You can use it either way, but that's the call that you're going to make. The best thing about this front and this defense is that the guys are playing off. The coverage is playing off, which could be a problem. And if you're playing press, you're also going to have to make maybe another adjustment to play over the top, or you're going to have to back your corners off. This is probably like the most pure way to play it. I've had the most success this cycle running the 2-4, nickel 2-4. Like in my playbooks, even though I'm a four down guy for the most part, I put in my custom playbook nickel 2-4 just to get this one play. All right. So the rest of these plays here, this is the only time you're going to kind of see cover four quarters pop up in this situation. Really, this is going to be more of a first and second down call, not necessarily a third down call. But I guess you could use it on third and short. And if you want to use the 57 package with it, you can. That's still experimental right now. But I would just stick with the regular quarters. And then on third down, right, third and long, third and medium, he likes cover 9 and cover 6. Cover 9 was one of the coverages that, when I was there, we kind of installed like halfway throughout the year. Had a lot of success against um against Aaron Rodgers and some, really good quarterbacks that, they're not used to seeing cover 9. They always expected cover 6 from Wade or cover 1 blitz, all right? Anyway, so I spent a lot of time there just to kind of give you the idea of what's going on there. Again, the first part of this list is more like first and second down, or maybe third down and 2 or 3 or 4. And then the third part of this list is kind of a hybrid. You have quarters, which is a base call for him on first and second down, and then you have cover 6 and cover 9 popping up as a third down and long call. Okay, and don't forget his cover 6. He actually did not play it with match coverage if you want to play it authentic, but you don't have to. You can just play it regular cover six if that's how you feel more comfortable. No, no harm, no foul. But he didn't actually play palms to 3x1 and stuff like that. That wasn't what we did. Okay. The big nickel package is in here now, and I separated the two. I put that as the second one instead of going right from nickel right to dime. Even though nickel and dime is very similar, I just want to give you guys something in there. So as you're flipping through your favorites, or when you create your favorites, it's going to be something as a separator. So you're actually into dime or nickel because the plays look identical almost. All right. So the very first one is going to be that dragon one peel, which is something that I haven't really done out of the out of this set. I have it out of the double mug look right here. What we're going to do here is just play the one peel. So that safety walks down, which is really good in two ways. It gives us the front. I'll show you on the field more. You're going to get that front aligned the way you want versus trips closed formations or against 3x1 nub. I'll talk about that more later. But really, you're going to get that safety walk down. And it's a really nice thing that when you have the backfield, when you have a gun, especially when it's a gun, right? He's going to, most of the time, he's going to walk down weak away from the passing strength, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure that's how it's set up. But even if you have to flip it, if you can get him to walk down to the back and just user control that guy, all right? Or you don't even have to user control that guy. You just have to man him up on the back, all right? That's why I think I would rather you do it personally, manually, but man him up on the back or control it and just leave him in the blitz and know that you have to cover the running back, all right? And take the backer that's in the box and just blitz him, the one that's aligned over the halfback. So you're getting kind of like a 5 or 6 man pass rush if they keep him in, and you're getting a one peel. I think one peel is actually a pretty good defense this year with all the people who like to throw wheel routes all the time. That's a big play in the game. So if you can just man him up and just user it or get a safety instead of having a linebacker on the running back, it's better. Okay. All right. So as you go through the rest of this, you see how the rest of the plays kind of match up with the nickel, right? 51. I don't have cut. That's wrong there. My fault. Took this from an old took that from Jim Swartz. That's just hold. Okay. Let me just make that change for you guys. All right. So that's pretty much where we are. Everything else is pretty much self-explanatory. Here we have 3 cheat as the next call. We have quarters again, 6 and 9. Okay. And then when you jump into dime, it's the same setup, almost identical to the nickel. You see how it's the same? The only thing that's different is 3 buzz. Okay. That's a big play that he likes on 3rd and long. So this is like 3rd and long defense. You want to probably be in dime. And so 3 buzz show 2, 6 and 9. That's like his top coverage calls. Okay. If he wants to bring pressure, we'll jump over into the pressure section over here. Okay. Now, base defense, I talked about it. Wade was not really an overfront, but Wade was very much so. He did what he had to do in order to be successful. And forever in the NFL, especially the last 30 years that he was in the NFL, the underfront was really good because it also hides a lot of pressures, but the underfront is like one of the base fronts in general. But you did have some issues against teams that ran outside zone. Okay. So just in general, I did that video about over. I would just start off now with the over front as your lead front. Maybe not your lead front if you're playing single. Guys who know what I'm talking about. So now let's not play single out of over. Maybe use single out of under or out of odd, or just make the manual substitution to put a corner in at safety whenever you feel like you need to. Okay, but over is the best front versus the outside zone play right now. I think you can definitely play Saw Blitz 1 and cover 3 and kind of play it well. Saw Blitz 1, you could run through and get a TFL. I already talked about that. Cover 4 quarters. So this right here kind of is like the core of what he is, okay? But I picked the best plays to give us a couple little pressures too. But really, the top play we know about cover 3 week is just going to be just straight zone drop cover 3. It's a change up off of cover 1 when you've called it a couple times. And then quarters is what you're going to need versus formations like, and I'll talk about it on the field, but like some of the formations that are tough to cover, like compression sets, bunches, things like that, where you don't want to be in man-to-man coverage. Pretty much quarters is where you want to go. Okay, unders there. Here in the under, I really like the weak blitz 3 blitz. It's just basically a weak side blitz. Very good versus a lot of weak side run teams, and also good versus teams that want to throw the ball, play action. So here you got cover 1 spy, which is it's the same idea as this one up here. It's just that we're actually playing a contain, and the way the front aligns is a little bit better. Okay, gives you better leverage on run plays. odd. Everybody who knows the 3-4 knows that Stormbrave 1 is one of the best plays. He called that Will Mo 1. Again, another weak side blitz. Again, another weak side zone pressure here. And then here, cover 4 drop is a play that Wade called. And it's actually something nice. It's a nice little change up. Instead of playing actual match coverage, you're just going to drop out and play zone drop. All right. 334 bear. I also put this in that run stopping tape. This is actually something you can use to stop the run. It fits up pretty well. And then also, I really like the linebacker blitz zero play. It actually shows like cover 1. The safety stays back there. You don't have to use him or anything. It looks like cover 1, but it's actually cover 0. So you can kind of just line up in that and just run it. This is one of those plays that I would steal if I was even a 4-3 team and I wanted to get some really good plays. That's the thing about the 3-4 defense. There's a lot of good disguise out of this defense, which is one of the reasons why I like to use it in my own custom playbook. All right. Then you got just a regular zone drop. Okay. So let me just kind of go through the blitzes. Since a lot of these are like really easy, again, I put the zone pressures, which I think all of these are just plug and play blitzes. I'm pretty sure you don't have to do much with them. Maybe pack or check, you might have to make one slight adjustment, but that's pretty easy. Just take a look at those notes that I gave you guys from the cheat sheet, the blitz cheat sheet. All right, and then you have your. Oops, let me change this. Let me do this again. This is actually man pressures, man blitzes. All right, and then we zone blitzes. So sorry guys, a little bit just I'm working through this right now. I want to get this out to you guys today. I was supposed to do it yesterday, but Christmas decoration got out of control. All right, so here we go with let's just talk about the man pressures. I'm not going to go through how to do each one. You guys should know them, but the way it's organized is I try to make it so that sorry. Try to make it so like some of the odd pressures are usually the better ones. The double mug looks are here, and then you have your dime version, the best dime blitz here, and then the 2-4 is going to be again. That's going to be your defense that you're going to pretty much start the game and use a lot. So we definitely want to bring some of these pressures. Now, when it comes to this auxiliary stuff here, these are just some really good plays I like to call. And I guess I called this twice. There's no way I called the bear twice. Hold on one second. Yeah, I don't think I have bear in there twice. Okay, Cub. That's what it's supposed to be. So this is 34 Cub. It's the same idea. It's a smoke blitz. It's just out of Cub, which is just another thing you can use on um, short yardage blitz play. This double mug one hole is we're gonna have some double mug pressures. So let's just also have a nice little double mug. Just play cover 1, not bringing heat. Just traditional cover 1 hole, extra guy dropping into the middle. You can use that on 3rd and medium, or in the red zone or something like that. If you think a team's not going to run the ball, you can do that. If they're going to run the ball, don't call that play. And then one of my favorites is the 2-3. Again, 2-3, I didn't put it in there. It's all dime. So you just have to know 2-3-6 is the dime, 2-4 is the nickel. So this is the double man double buzz, which is really in the red zone. He would have called this red cover 5 or a version of 57. Okay, red 57. Let me just put that in there actually. So it's basically another way of playing 57, but now you don't have to really have to have the safeties match up on number 2 so much, because they can't go deep, but they could go inside or outside, but just run it plain, man. It's just a good little change up. This is the red zone play. All right. So I put that at the back of the book just so you guys remember that it's there. But that's pretty much it, man. I know this is a longer video than I anticipated. But when we jump on the field, I'll just kind of quickly go through the stuff even quicker than I did here. And then you can just take a look at it. And if there's anything pops into my brain, I'll let you know. I'll see you on the field. Okay, all right. So hey, just real quick, I'm gonna do audibles later on. I will go back and just kind of. I'm pretty sure, man. You guys can figure out which audibles you want. I think that's going to be more game plan oriented. Like, depending on what you see, like if somebody's going to know huddle you and you're stuck in one of these fronts, like let's say dime 2-3-6, there's certain calls that you want to kind of get into. So I don't want to necessarily tell you what to do. I think the audibles are already preset already for you in each grouping. You can just roll with those, but just go through that and kind of custom make that how you feel fit. But anyway, let's just go through this. So the favorite system set up again for the Wade Phillips scheme. Taking a look at it here in the PS5. If you don't know how to do it, guys, I'm not going to make this a long review because I kind of talked about it already. in the YouTube video I did that's like public. You can go look at it. I kind of talk about how to do it. But just go create those favorites. If you have any questions about it, let me know. But they stay, guys. These favorites they stick no matter what you do. Just if you change your playbook for some reason before a game or before a practice into a different defensive playbook, they will get out of whack. They won't disappear when you come back to your Wade Phillips playbook or whatever, they won't disappear, but they would just be in a different order. Okay. So anyway, from the top to the bottom, we got the nickel 2-4. We love it. We know it. I love the cover one robber. I should have like 1,000 calls of that play in my defense, but I've been running some other systems. Then we have just the regular, this is kind of the normal setup. So again, like first and second down, you're going to call cover one hole, cover three sky, and probably cover four quarters. Like that's the main meat and potatoes, right? And then you don't know if it's a run or a pass, and you kind of get with that, right? And it's kind of based on formation. If you get, again, some of these tight formations, you might want to call some more quarters, or you do some more cover three if you feel like your guys are going to get picked off in cover one, right? But then we have third down. You also want to come over here and let's say you're not sure it's 3rd and 8, and you want to keep two linebackers on the field. You're going to use potentially cover one robber if you feel like you can match up. Cover six, again, I told you Wade actually calls his defense and doesn't always play zone drop, but that's up to you. And then cover nine, show two. That's primarily like a really good defense versus 3-by-1 sets. Okay, that's pretty much how I would use it. But some of you guys have your own system of maybe playing cover nine so that you can get cover two side to the passing strength. Maybe that's where the good receiver is aligned in the slot or something like that. Okay. So then we jump into the big nickel package. And let me just again show you the weak safety blitz one. So I love this. They call this Dragon one peel. 3-by-1, you're going to get this a whole lot. You know what? Let's just go up against some of the stuff that I think could be a problem. Like people that want to run wheels at a tight formations. Let me see if I can find one. All right. So again, a lot of times the running back on a tight formation that's running the wheel is aligned away from the passing strength. But anyway, this safety comes down. You could do two things. You could just man him up on the running back, right? And that's that. And then you would have to just come over and then just blitz the linebacker to this side. All right. That would be the first thing that I would take a look at. So sorry about that. That'd be the first thing I would take a look at. What happened here? Hold on. Let me take a look at this again. hmm. Let's go back on that because I just realized that the tight end, yeah, it's a little bit different. Okay, yeah, so that's fine. I'm sorry. I thought it was this guy. So if we're gonna bring this blitz, right, and we're gonna man him up here, we're gonna have to take whoever has the running back. We're just gonna blitz him. So that would be this linebacker. We're just gonna bring him. Okay, and I think the best way to do it is the green dog and control this guy. And if you see him go out, now you can just go and go play the wheel yourself. All right. Or if he stays in the block or he goes across the field to the left hand side, then you can just go get it. Just continue to blitz. That's what I would do. So that would be a dragon one peel type of blitz. Just a peel blitz, but you are the peeler. Okay. So that's the difference. Or if you just want to let it play out and just be natural, just let the thing play out naturally. You can if you really want to. It's no big deal. Let that guy blitz and then just play ball. All right. And I kind of like that as a nice little way to kind of mix in some good pressure versus a lot of against what people are doing right now. All right, so you can also come out and obviously get your audible set here. This is where you would definitely want to get your audible set, but you can just get to cover one hole from that look. So you can call that play cover one hole. You can get to cover three sky, okay, or you can even get to quarters. All right, so that's already set up in the setup that I gave you guys. That safety is still going to walk around. You see how I'm not even using that safety? He still walks down and we're playing quarters. I talked about this in the disguise video. I feel like this is one of the better ways to disguise and to kind of get people thinking. All right. So that's really good. That works well with the Wade system. Again, you would use that. Make sure your personnel set, guys, because it's big nickel. And somebody brought this up in one of the videos, which is really important and it's true. If you can't hear it. The bad thing about favorites is that you can't make any substitutions like using the right stick. So you use your packages and move around and get guys out of the packages, especially this one. You want to have like a corner and at the nickel spot if you want to make some adjustments that are not found if you have a safety there. So just make sure that you have to go in here manually. So what you want to do is, however you want to run your nickel, manually come in here and make the changes here by using triangle on PlayStation and just making your substitutions here, or do it pregame in your CFM. All right. So just wanted to let you guys know that. If you have any questions, let me know. I won't spend too much more time. You have quarters, you have cover 6, you have cover 9. So then now we jump into the dime 2-3-6. So this is more like, you want that safety that's going to be in the box down there for you. But just understand, the alignments are a little bit funky depending on the formation. So like if we have 3-by-1 set right here, okay, see how the safety kind of walks down on the backside and covers the running back. And right now we have, this is your safety, okay? Your safety always covers the tight end in this defense. So that's why it's a little bit funky. So you have to understand 3-by-1, he may not be in the right spot. Let me see if I actually flip the defense. Okay, yeah, there you go. You can flip the defense, but then you see how the safety's still covering the running back from down here and cover, and hold. So just make sure you understand that. That's why it's a little bit more of a pass defense. It's a little bit better versus spread. So let me just give you an example of that. So if we call cover one hold versus a spread look, all right, now for sure, you're going to get some better matchups here. You're actually going to get your linebacker in the box playing over the halfback, and obviously your safety would come down and play over the tight end here. Okay, so just know that that's what's going to happen. If they came out, you see how right now Love is on the right hand side. If the running back was on the other side, I'm pretty sure he would flip. Let me just confirm that with you right now. Live proof of purchase. Let's just put the running back here. I guess Trey Open would do the same thing. Yep, Trey Open's cool. All right, now we got the running back down here, actually. So, all right, so we actually got, again, I didn't even know that. If I came out in a 2-by-2, I know I'll be right. But here, what they did was this linebacker, or AKA the dime, went out and covered the tight end, and the safety came down and covered the running back. So that's the thing. It's a little bit funky. You kind of have to get a feel for the dime stuff. That's why, honestly, man, it's not something you want to do against a team that wants to run the ball. That's why I have the big nickel. That's why I have 2-4 in there and big nickel. Teams that want to run the ball, use those two fronts. It's a lot more sound, okay? But if it's third down and you just need to get lined up and get the best matchups you can, this is the better way to do it. It's dime 2-3-6, okay? Now, so we have cover 3 sky, which is going to give you some pretty good alignments. There's going to be no problems here. Not that I know of, okay? So let me just take a look at. You really you probably don't want to call this versus 3-by-1. So let's just be realistic and call it versus 2-by-2. Yeah, and this is just normal alignment, okay? So that we're good there. We can play our now 3 cheat if we want, or we could just play regular 3 sky and just let it rock out. And then we have our cover 1 robber show 2, which again is really nice because it shows cover 2 and we're playing cover 1. All right. Then we have our third down, the cover 3 buzz show 2. So this would be part of your third down calls. So this is one of the one, just like in Jim Schwartz's defense, Wade brought down the safety to the passing strength, and this is just zone dropping. So if you feel comfortable doing that, rocking the zone dropping, you're good to go. It looks like cover 2. Maybe if it's third and long, I'm backing the whole corners up, or I'm backing everybody up. All right, and also I might call sticks, the sticks adjustment, just to make sure that the underneath defenders get to the sticks and don't get influenced by underneath routes as much. So just remember that. Cover 6, cover 9. All right. Then we jump into our regular 3-4. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but we know the saw blitz 1 is good versus outside zone. Then we have cover 3 sky, quarters. Again, these two coverages on the right, you're going to use this versus formations that are really tough to cover. Then you have 3-4 under. You have all the same idea here, except you have a weak blitz 3. So sometimes, man, stopping the run does require a little bit of a run stopping blitz. So you can kind of get away with that. We're calling weak blitz 3. And then down here, 34 odd, we have also kind of another run stopping blitz with Storm Brave 1. All right. And then we have the rest of it there. We have a nice little zone drop. We're not playing match, give everybody a down off, with cover 4 drop, just kind of 8-man drop defense. There, I talked about this before. I really like the one in the middle, the bear linebacker blitz 0 on third and short. You need to get a stop. It looks like cover 1. Let me just show you what this is. It looks like cover 1, but it's not. All right. So no matter what the formation is, if they came out like this, and you call the cover 0, you see Diggs is back there in the post. He's standing back there, but he's covering who? One of the tight ends. All right. If you came out in a normal cover 0, like a different type of cover 0, out of a different front, like this one, you get this look where everybody's kind of like showing press, throwing blitz, I'm sorry, and our safeties are standing there at about 8, 10 yards, and they're down low instead of playing back at 12 to 15. Okay, so this is a nice little defense that kind of disguises it. I don't have to be on that guy, and we can just play ball, and we can kind of get a cover zero look. That's why it's in there. Bears pretty good against some of the most of the players you're going to run too. And then we now jump into the pressures. So again, all these pressures are pretty much plug and play. A couple of them might be you just have to like move one guy, over a little bit, or just make sure the blitz is coming off the right side. The man pressures are down here, all right, and then we end it with the last part of the book where we just have these extra plays. I like the Cub gap press. It's going to be a show blitz, but I kind of like this right here versus teams that want to come out in 11 personnel. Like, in, let's say 3rd and 1, they want to spread you out, or even down like in the red zone goal line area. They want to go like, we're looking for a formation here that would be representative when they want to go trade wide flex just to run a bubble in an inside zone on the goal line or something, just come out and just play goddamn cover. Just come out and play zero, right? Get everybody locked up, right? This front is not great versus the run, but you're blitzing this linebacker through a very vulnerable gap if people want to run inside zone. And you can see here that everybody here is actually lined up well. They're over their guy, and we're just rocking out and playing ball. All right. Just so you know, this blitz here is really good versus this type of formation. And then if you really wanted to get if you got a formation where the running back, let's say, was on the other side. So I can't control it, but let's say the running back was on the right hand side, okay? And you're on the left hand side for whatever reason. You come out there and you realize, oh snap, okay, the running back's on the other side. I don't like the way we're lined up. Just check the sting pinch. Sting pinch is just all that does is changes the blitz to the other side. So now if the running back just pretend that he's on the left hand side of the screen, now he would be manned up on him on that side. So and the coverage guys would be just the 4 DBs are covering the 4 eligibles and wide receiver tight end types. Okay, so that's that. And then we have the cover one hole. Again, we have a lot of pressures where we're kind of like stacking the line of scrimmage. So this is the nice little one to use maybe on 3rd down. Just kind of like give yourself a little bit of a hey, we're just going to come out in a hole and just play ball that way a little bit, all right? And the very last one is one of my favorites to use in the red zone. I talked about it a little bit already. It's kind of basically another way to play 57. It's the original 57 that I used to use back in like 2012 when they couldn't really do anything, or we couldn't play quarters back then, when we couldn't play match. I used to put these guys in the hook curls and just rock out. But anyway, everybody's playing off man, which is nice. And then you got 2 guys sitting in the hook curl on the inside. I would definitely move everybody outside leverage and just hope that maybe they try to run double crossing routes or something in the middle, and that these guys would be there. And this is more of the red zone type of play. All right, so that's the light scheme. I know I gave a lot of info, guys, but I feel like it's important just so you know what I'm thinking. And I think you can run that scheme primarily. Just know you still have all your plays here in your playbook, man. Just don't get locked down in it and like, hey, I'm just running 42 plays. That's just like 80% of what you're going to do. You just still think about what's going on from what the offense is trying to do to you and make sure you come out there and maybe kind of give them a little change up. Go into a game, if you feel like some of your play calls are stale, right? Just go into a game, say, hey, I'm going to try to like work in this blitz today. I'm going to work in this coverage and kind of mix it in and see how it goes. And just call it like 2 or 3 times. Don't have to call it every play, and that's how you get yourself, getting yourself feel like you're doing a little bit more than just the bare minimum. All right. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later, man. Peace.